TCA, or thrust chamber assembly, is comprised of three main products. We have the main ejector, we have the combustion chamber, and the skirt. The main ejector's responsibility is to take the chemical energy in the propellants and convert it into thermal energy through a combustion process. The combustion chamber is responsible, alongside with the skirt, to convert the thermal energy into kinetic energy. It is the combustion gases moving at supersonic speeds outside of the skirt that propels the rocket forward. This is really what you know as thrust. This is why we call it the thrust chamber assembly. What sets the Aeon R TCA apart is its innovative use leveraging additive technologies. You may have heard of Relativity as using wire arc additive manufacturing, or WAM, to 3D print a vehicle and send it into space. But we are also being extremely innovative in the use of additive on the engine itself. Not only WAM, but we're also exploring a couple of other different types of additive methods. So rather than just applying powder bed fusion, it is the investment in many different additive technologies over the period of a few years and having those available to us that has changed the design process. It's changed how we look at thrust chamber assemblies, and that is really dramatically different.
We're able to go from a clean sheet design to test in 3 months. I mean, we're not talking about small changes specifically for channel count or intricate fluid passages. We're talking even large-scale form factor and architecture redesigns. This allows us to be constantly responding to what we're getting from our test data and rolling in those changes as we see them.
And with the Aeon R main injector, we've gone through 14 design print test iterations, which is simply impossible to do with a lot of the traditional manufacturing designs. With each iteration, the performance goes up, the reliability goes up, and this kind of rapid iteration is a game changer when it comes to rocket development, because the vast majority of a rocket cost is not actually the fuel or the material, but the time it takes to develop that rocket. Yeah, the main injector is really the perfect use case of powder bed fusion printing technology. Normally, with the traditional design, you have thousands of precision machined components that you have to assemble together manually and put in a brazing furnace. With powder bed fusion, we're able to boil that down into a single piece that prints on a single machine in a matter of days, and that's much more cost effective.
We're heavily leveraging additive manufacturing in the construction of our MCC. Additive really gives us the flexibility to create intricate cooling geometries and fluid passages that would otherwise be very complex or impossible with traditional methods. This really opens up our design space and gives us the ability to create unique cooling architectures that help us meet the performance and durability goals for Aeon R. We've also utilized additive in ways that have allowed us to use multiple materials in the construction of our main combustion chamber. For example, we're using a NASA-developed alloy called GRCOP42, which is a high thermal conductivity copper alloy for the liner, the walls, and the channels, where we need the high thermal conductivity for the harsh thermal environments for the MCC. Meanwhile, we use a high-strength nickel alloy to provide the structural jacket, which is responsible for taking all of the pressure loads of the MCC.
The Aeon R engine produces just over 250,000 pounds of thrust. Now, with 13 of these at the base of the Terran R vehicle, that is producing over 15 times the thrust of the previous vehicle.
We're taking about 10,000 gallons of liquid oxygen and gaseous fuel and spraying it into the volume about the size of a trash can and releasing about 5 million horsepower, which is about the same as 5,000 F1 race cars. And that's the kind of energy it takes to power a rocket into space.
The main combustion chamber is seeing gases on the order of 6,500 degrees Fahrenheit at any given time. This is more than half the surface temperature of the sun and about 10 times what you'd see in a typical household oven. Any metals are typically going to melt at these temperatures, so it's extremely critical for us to keep the walls cool. Regenerative cooling is essentially the idea of having small channels that are running within the walls of the combustion chamber where you can pass a cold fluid as coolant. In our case, we're passing fuel to these channels, and the fuel basically moves at high velocity and pulls the heat out of the walls and allows us to keep a manageable wall temperature. The reason it's called regenerative cooling is because as the coolant passes through the walls, it ultimately ends up back in the injector into the chamber where it's combusted, so that heat is recaptured, but it gives you a small performance benefit. But the real reason we do it is because it's actually an extremely effective way to cool the walls.
We've done most of our main injector development at the E1 test stand at NASA Stennis. And they have a very high capability, high pressure test stand where we're able to test the thrust chamber and the main injector independently of the rest of the engine. And we've been able to advance the injector design far earlier than you normally would be able to do with other engines, basically in parallel with the turbo machinery development.
What excites me about working on the Aeon R TCA is that aside from just the complex problem of optimizing the system that's pushing the limits of physics and materials and even manufacturing, what's truly remarkable is the pace of progress. As an engineer, it's always important to close the loop on your designs, collect the data that's necessary to either confirm or feed into better models and predictions, and we're able to see that full product life cycle in short order.
What really excites me about working here at Relativity is the license we have to push the envelopes of additive manufacturing with our design and push the limits of performance, cost. We're able to work on some technologies that may become the industry standard in a couple decades.